I love this pre-steering music. But we're not here for pre-steering right now. Maybe we'll take a dip in later. Depends upon how timing of things works out. Because I do have a hard stop time that I may have to pay attention to. I did not clean up my inventory very well from last time, did I? No, I did not. What the heck? Oh, this is where the... Yeah, that's where the thing ended up. Put some lockpicks in there. Dungeon map. Right. So we've got a few different items we're looking at here. This is a fortitude mod for hammer. That's potentially interesting. The real question is, what do I want to do with this pile of plant fibers? I think I'm going to just pull 3 off and sell the thing. The crafting material trader. Because why not? It's okay to use the first couple of minutes on inventory management, right? In fact, let's just go ahead and run a commercial right off the bat while nobody's here yet. Let's just run 30 seconds. Let's see. The real question is, do I feel a desire to hang on to this hammer? Okay. That's an interesting question as well. Why do I have so many fiery swords? Why not other things? I don't understand this. I have like 3 defense mods for hammers just hanging out in here. I don't know why I have so many defense mods, and I don't know. I feel like defense is probably better than fortitude, though. What is this? This is an enchanting mod. This is an enchanting mod. I have 2 different 19% enchanting mods on hammers as well. Okay. Do I need a bow defense mod? I mean, I don't not need a bow defense mod. I don't care about the fiery. Fiery is not terrible, but it's really easy to get fiery in other ways. I feel like that's probably just better to just sell. That's defense. Do I have another? Okay, that's wooden longbow without a mod, so let's just drop this onto it. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to care about this fortitude mod. I'm not going to be making that many hammers, and I'm okay with defense, so... Alright. So, I'm going to give these juicy Hackett legs away to the NPC who wants them. That's over in Alona, though. Oh, I should totally check the bounty while I'm here. That might inform some of my dungeon decisions, because sometimes dungeon bosses have the bounty. I should turn my music... Or turn... You can't see the volume scale, but I turn the volume down a little bit on my end, because it can get kind of loud. So, what is our bounty for today? Oh. Yeah, okay, whatever. I don't think I'm doing that today. I don't think I have enough time to get through. I want to save slavers for the end. So I think it's going to be a while before I'm ready for doing that business. But I want to turn in these frog legs. Frog legs. I mean, that's what they are. But the Hackett legs, because I don't need them taking up inventory space. That's real amusing, but I don't need them taking up inventory space. So let's go ahead and get these dropped off. Now, I've been thinking a little bit about if I want to do something silly with builds or not. I don't know. Maybe. Delicious. The perfect on-the-job snack for any smithy worth their iron. Now I can get my work done without being distracted by my unending hunger. At least for now. It's cooking time. Oh, great. Now I have an ancient artifact that I have to figure out what the heck I'm doing with. You took 10. You took 10 of these 61 juicy Hecate legs. I don't need the rest of them. Get out of here, juicy Hecate legs. What do I do with an ancient artifact I don't need? Which one of these am I lowest on? ID kit. Let's see if I can parlay it into an ID kit. Who do I talk to for that? The Ascension Pilgrims? I'm trying, because usually they come in threes. So I'm trying to identify. Nope. Not that one. Nope. Who the heck do I take these to? Because around here somewhere there should be an NPC that I can take. There's not like an undead quartermaster or something obviously around here. Drop these funds off. Ooh, I'm back up to 40 plat. Dungeons are, if nothing else, they've been proven to be somewhat lucrative. What do I do with an ancient artifact? Okay, I'm gonna look that up in just a second. Wiki. Ancient artifact. What do I do? Wandering scribe? Oh, Gate of Desolation. This is not the Gate of Desolation. That's why we look things up sometimes. Should be able to get an ID kit from one of these wandering scribes. Should accept one of these for some stuff like ID kits, I think. I'm not planning on getting more. If I was planning on getting more, it'd be best to save them up, but... Hello. Welcome. In terms of whether or not, like, I think every profession has fun stuff that you can do. It kind of depends upon... That is not a wandering scribe. It kind of depends upon what you personally enjoy in a game. And there's a couple of different ways to... There we go, ID kit. Approach playing Mesmer as well. So you can focus on more of an interrupt style. Yeah, well, and like, yeah, there's definitely a lot of different directions you can go. Sorry, I'm thinking about which direction I wanted to head. I want to head this way. So the principal sorts of things that you do on the, I don't know. Yeah, so, I mean, again, that too, it depends upon the environment in which you're playing and what people are expecting. Like, your typical Mesmer thing is going to be, like, Mistrust, Energy Surge, Spiritual Pain, Unnatural Signet, probably Shatter Hex, and something kind of like this. But, again, that depends upon how meta you're going. You might do something that's more the Ineptitude, Wandering Eye type direction. But... like, I've been enjoying this. You can also, if you're just playing for yourself or whatever, and people aren't telling you what meta builds to run or anything like that, Signet Evolutions can be silly. There's different directions that you can kind of go with stuff. You can do random stuff with Elementalist spells if you want to, with some of them getting faster casts or whatever. I think that there's things fun about each profession, but yeah, in terms of... it depends upon how you're playing the game and how you approach it for what you're doing. But Mesmer is definitely going to be a very different experience than Dervish. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't done a ton of specific farming stuff. I mostly just kind of like play through the game. Like, most of the farming that I've done has been a long time ago, or like random hunting specific trophies type stuff. So if you want to ask me about farming Minotaurs in a lone or reach on a warrior, I could talk about that a little bit, but I don't really have a whole lot of experience farming with Mesmer. So, unfortunately, I can't tell you a whole lot about that. I'm trying to decide if I want to keep doing this for now, and I think I will. Searing Flames, I'm assuming. I should switch to Rebel Yell. Yeah, Searing Flames is good times. Where is... There's Covert Agent. Oh, Shadow Form. That would be another one. Yeah, Shadow Form was definitely a heck of a thing. That is potentially going to be useful for finding that location, but not what I need right now. I do need to go punch some dwarves at some point here. Yeah, Shadow Form was... Oh, hey, Red Iris Flower. A heck of a thing. See, I remember way back to doing Griffin farming on Warrior with the Gladiator's defense and stuff before they took out the Griffins, but that was a very long time ago. Yeah, I don't know. I don't tend to pay attention to a lot of the high-end meta stuff. Ravager SC, which I'm assuming stands for Speed Clear, hangs out in chat every now and then, and is a lot more familiar with that stuff than I am. Because I've never really looked into any of the like high-end farming speed clear type stuff. Every now and then I get those little hitches, and I don't entirely know what they're about. So, like I said, a lot of it kind of depends upon how you're playing the game and how invested in meta stuff you are and what you're looking to do and all that. Like I said, it's definitely a very different mindset, though. Well, if you want something that's going to play very differently than Dervish, Mesmer is a strong choice. Some sort of healer-directed class, probably Monk, potentially Ritualist if you're going more of the Restoration style. Those are very different focus to what you normally would do as an Dervish. Because a lot of Dervish stuff is going to be probably strategic C-space and careful skill use. And this is more like... The pacing can be very different, especially if you're going more interrupt heavy. You're kind of trying to be aware what enemies are going to be using spells that you want to watch out for. And that's that Charr standing in a casting animation for a little while. Maybe they're trying to meteor shower me and that sort of thing. This build is not got any interrupts on it, but E-Surge types, more of an E-Surge interrupty type build can be a lot of fun too, so. I mean, you can always give Mesmer a try, for a little bit anyway. Yeah, they both have cool stuff. Again, depending upon how you play, they can both be quite... Okay, Monk, Assassin, and Derv, okay. Mesmer's probably going to be more different than those. Do I need a quest for Ooze Pit? You know what? If there's a quest, there should be a thing telling me where it's found. 1 sec. I'm going to look up Ooze Pit to see if there's a quest for it. Because if there is, I want to make sure I grab it. Required quest. Watch it jiggle. Where do I get with this? Okay. I need to go over here first, it looks like. I should have done more research before I stepped into the dungeon. Yeah, so Ranger can be fairly versatile. Again, it depends upon, and I don't know what meta builds are. I found that Ranger can do a decent job of using a bunch of melee weapons as well as bow. If you want, doing stuff with a pet has a very different flavor as well. Which can be add a bit of a different tenor to things. I'm not impressed. Yeah, you're the one that I need this quest from. Is it better to go from up here? And I think I'm still going to go from Long Eyes Ledge. Yeah, okay. So from that standpoint, Ranger gives you a lot of versatility. You can, in terms of a physical profession, because it can basically do any of the physical profession stuff. You have sort of the thumper type concept, which is like pet and physical hammer, usually pet and hammer. But you can use any of the warrior weapons competently on a ranger if you want to change things up. You have some useful support stuff that way. Keep in mind, though, some stuff with ranger is that they do have a bit of a focus on poison, which can be a little annoying in some areas with enemies that are immune to it. But you can do other things as well with ranger. Ranger is the profession I have most of. So there's a lot of versatility with it. Mesmer is a very... And Ranger can get some of it too, because Ranger has a lot of interrupts on the bows. So Mesmer, you can be quite versatile as well, doing a bunch of different spellcasty type stuff. Fast casting is... So expertise and fast casting have in common that they're both versatile primary attributes that don't... Like, they care sort of about what your skills are, but fast casting applies to a large swath of spells from other professions, just like expertise applies to a large swath of skills from other professions. So you have some options on some of the stuff that you're doing. And definitely Mesmer has a number of different playstyles embedded within it. You have some of the sort of punishing mechanics that you can also find in Necromancer, although you can use the Necromancer ones if you want to. You can... Signet of Illusions allows you to kind of do some wonky stuff that you wouldn't really be able to do as powerfully on others. Elementalist does have some interesting different versatilities as well, but Mesmer is probably... Like, again, every profession has kind of its own things to commend it. So I don't know how long you have to watch the stream, but I'll be running this build for right now, but I can change up the build that I'm running kind of in between stuff just to give you a chance to see some of the different sorts of things that Mesmer has in and of itself. The energy surge type stuff you can do some fun things with. How the heck did Prius die? Where the heck did Prius die? Oh, whatever. Sure. Yeah, so if you're looking for something that's a change of pace, hey, Kitsune Magic. Okay. But yeah, so you can do kind of more of the like illusion magic. Predominantly, it specializes in like there's a bunch of single target health degen skills, but you're probably coming in here for, if you're focusing on it, for ineptitude, or you're doing something silly like with illusionary weaponry or Signet of Illusions. Domination magic has punishing stuff with Visions of Regret, and then E-Surge type stuff can also be a lot of fun. And if you're going more interrupt heavy, like Cry of Frustration is something you're probably going into or bringing if you're going domination magic. And focusing on interrupting enemies is a very different sort of pace of play and different approach to the game. So you can get that with both Ranger, with both Ranger and Mesmer, and it creates a very different feel and approach to the game, which is something that is a nice change of pace. So I definitely, the sorts of things that you do with each profession are nuanced differences and often can lead to very different playstyles, which I find to be quite enjoyable overall. Ow, that's a shockwave, Ellie. Unstable gelatinous material. Oh, that's what I'm doing with it. Cool. Got exploding. Incubi. So yeah, there's a huge difference to the tempo of play between like Monk, that's looking to try to keep the party alive, and a Mesmer trying to interrupt enemies, and so yeah, I have fun with it. I will definitely make sure to change up what I'm doing for the next parts, that way you can kind of get a different feel for things. That was not a particularly well-placed ineptitude. Okay, there's a heck of a lot of unstable gelatinous material about. Not sure what to make of that. I see you over there, aggressive ooze. What do you think you're doing? What does this guy want? Echo's Belly Shaker. That's a dwarf name.
Excuse me?
You... Okay, you make refined jelly. There's anything else missing there, right? Just a bunch of unstable gelatinous material. Okay. Wanted to make sure. I don't know who that thing was shockwaving, but... Well, given that I don't actually pay attention to meta stuff, like if you're early in the game, you're probably somewhat limited on skills. If you have some access to something like Elite Tomes, Barrage is always useful to acquire. Volley is a skill that's useful to acquire early. This rune bag is telling me... Do not put aggressive oozes in bag. Doing stuff with Pet and like Savage Strike should be a skill that you can... Oh, what happens to my party? Savage Strike is something that... Or Savage Shot, excuse me. And Distracting Shot are skills you should be able to get early that are quite enjoyable. Okay, I took down that guy. Surprisingly, no, but it certainly felt like it. Okay, I need to tweak my settings at some point in time, because... Okay, there's something by the area map. I want to go check out what that was. I saw it ping on my radar when I hit Light of Deldrimor. But yeah, early Ranger... I'm trying to think of what skills you even get early on as Ranger. Oh, it's back here. Of course it is. Now I have to wait for the stupid skill to recharge. Let's see. I mean, it depends upon what campaign you start in as well, and what skills they give you at the start of that. But a lot of early rangers are probably going to be like pet stuff with a couple interrupts. Oh, and there's just a ghostly ally. Great. I was hoping for a treasure chest, but whatever. So none of these characters are rangers, so I can't show you, but yeah, I'm not sure what some of the earlier available elites are. That would be something, well, I could look it up. But you can look that up on the wiki in terms of like elites by capture location. Early prophecy elites are going to be like Marksman's Wager, which does enable certain type of spam builds with like penetrating shot and power shot. Barrage has always been viable. I mean, whether or not you consider it the best thing to do or not varies. Like a little bit, it depends upon what sort of role you're trying to do too. If you're trying to do more of this, why do I hear a rock? I think barrage type stuff, barrage is, or volley, working with volley as well, is still quite useful. I feel like I hear a rock rolling around somewhere. I do hear a rock rolling around somewhere. Again, it depends a little bit on what you're trying to do. Some of the pet attacks can be okay. I feel like I'm missing something. Why am I carrying this explosive? Just checking to see if there's anything over here. Barrage is definitely fine as far as I know. Trying to think through Ranger elites. In Ferocious Strike can be useful. I think Enraged Lunge is a little bit better if you're going for like pet attack skills. You can always go with okay, I don't know why I need to walk around with gelatinous explosive material, but I'm not going to then. I've found prepared shot is just reasonable if you're doing something that is a little bit more expensive, or if you're trying to do more of an R spike adjacent type deal. Oh, unstable lose explosions do not sound good. They are not good. Probably some of the better Ranger stuff are going to be like Barrage with Savage Shot, Distracting Shot. That sort of direction. But a lot of it, because like Ranger is fairly malleable in terms of what it's pushing towards. It can kind of fit into a couple different roles. This is not a dungeon layout I'm familiar with all that much. Mesmer's kind of malleable as well. Elementalist is strange in that parts of the game it's good for certain things, and other parts of the game it's better for other things, and different elements become better at certain points in the game. Fire magic tends to be a little bit better earlier on and a little bit worse later. For example, because elementalist stuff cares about armor. But it has a lot of support stuff that maybe doesn't as much. Let's see, what other... Yeah, that I'm not sure on. Again, I don't really pay a lot of attention to a lot of the meta stuff, so I'm just kind of unfamiliar with it. Sorry I can't be more directly helpful. Why am I carrying this ooze anyway? I think I do need to go the other way. Huh, well, I'm glad. Like, basically the way that I tend to play is just kind of doing whatever sounds good to me and that sort of thing. Like, I'm a huge fan of Healing Burst, for example, on hero monks, because they can't screw it up like they can with Word of Healing. Well, you can't screw up Word of Healing, but you can be suboptimal with it. Necromancer has access to Soul Reaping, which allows it to power a bunch of different stuff. Elementalists have to spend a bunch of slots on energy management in a way that's a bit different from other professions. Huh. Everything feels very different over in this part of the dungeon. This dungeon map is a lot more reminiscent of the catacombs. Good old cry of frustration going off there. I see you, volatile ooze. Really wish I had an interrupt right about now. Are you talking about pre-searing? Or... Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, there's no more need to death level for pre-searing. I got Legendary Defender of Ascalon on a warrior, and it takes a long time. It takes a long time, not in terms of like raw hours, but it takes a long time because you reach a point where you're kind of stuck waiting for the next day's daily quest to spawn, so you can get more experience points. So it's kind of play for half an hour each day sort of wonkiness. Okay, so I need to go up this direction in order to get up to the pressure plate. This is a very different map. It's very interesting. But yeah, you can... Is there anything in this area? No. Yeah, that headbutt's gonna hurt like crazy. Yeah. Well, people have characters that have hung out there for a long time. I love pre-searing, though. It's so nostalgic. Oh. But yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I've seen like 3 copies of... Do I go this way? I don't know how these maps connect up. Like 4 people in like white like the same white costume all lined up and stuff like that. It can be a very strange place. And these pillars remind me, like the way that lighting and stuff looks looks reminds me of Sarah's Furnace. Please not get hit by rocks. Ah! Well, there goes our ghost. That's unfortunate. He got bouldered. And then there's just a random candelabra here. Why not? Why not? I really love what they did with pre-searing. I'd love to get a little bit more closure on like the Wizard's Tower area and Foible's Fair, but oh well. I actually kind of feel like this would be a good place to have brought an Elementalist. These guys are all like level 20. So you keep dropping me, game, these unstable gelatinous materials, and you went to the point of showing me this tutorial thing about how to use them, and then you haven't seemed to be needing me to do that, and I've been very confused. Okay. Theoretically, this connects up to wherever it is they want me to go. I feel like... Oh, there's Gloop. Gloop seems significant. I think I need to go take down Gloop, everyone. Ah, so I could explode through there. If you do go Mesmer, in pre-searing Ascalon, Interior in particular, I would somewhat recommend Elementalist secondary, just because a lot of the stuff that you do as a Mesmer becomes more valuable in later game situations, and Elementalist damage can be quite preferable earlier on. Well, let's paint Inverter Gloop. Oh, Water Elementalist. Wasn't expecting that. Okay, there's a few places to check out here. That's one of those weird byproducts of the way the game is designed. Elementalist deals a bunch of armor respecting damage, which means it goes way up in early game, while there's a lot of Mesmer damage is armor ignoring, which makes it better in the late game. Yes, it would if I were inclined to try to go through there, and I am not. But less good than Elementalist damage in early game. If you're going for damage, if you're going for stuff like interrupts and such. Obviously, that's a different matter entirely. Oh, I got another dungeon map. That's very nice of them, I think. Okay, so I got my keys. So at this point, I just need to head on to the next place. But I kind of want to check out all of these, which makes me wish I had. Mantra of Recovery. Hello, Dwarven Ghost of Deldrimore. It's like, for combat purposes, I understand why this is 20-second recharge, but for uncovering treasure, I really wish it had a faster one. Oh well. I'm sure there's a lot more to discover in this dungeon than I'm going to, because I'm not going to explore this thoroughly. And that's another option. That can be useful if you have the bonus stuff. The Fire Imp is super useful for doing the pre-searing stuff as well. That was my experience. So I did a Warrior Necromancer for a level 20 pre-searing character. And the regen from Blood Renewal was real nice, but I mostly used the Imp to help out with stuff. But of course I was a bit more on the tanky end that way, so your mileage is going to be a bit different with playing a Mesmer there. And that rock is not moving for some reason. Okay. There we go. Ah, we got little oozes. Little oozes. Well, if I was trying to farm dwarf reputation points, now would be a real good time to do it. Just wander into the other parts of the map and hunt things down. Recover some prismatic gelatinous material from the ooze pit. Oh, we got ourselves a couple of prismatic ooze up here. Some of these dungeon maps are really cool. What do you do? Oh. Okay. Rodgort's invocation is... Ouch. Shelter, please. Get shelter back up. Oh, this is going to be a mess and a half, isn't it? Okay, I accept this. I apparently have activated or killed all of the important enemies to have killed. Oh goodness, what is this madness? This is... Yeah, I wish I had more of a straight up Ellie right here. That is not straight up Ellie. Livia is a useful support character. She is not area of effect damage. I want Rodgorts. I want Rodgorts. Oh my goodness, this is an absolute mess. Yeah, the Hourglass Staff is from Slash Bonus. Again, I don't know what bonus stuff you have access to, so... but yeah, I'm... Well, she has Kirsch's Staff. That was a terrible example. But yeah, I'm usually using the Hourglass Staff from Slash Bonus. It's a cheap and easy way to give my heroes a generally sufficiently capable piece of equipment. It's not the best piece of equipment possible, but it is generally good enough for most purposes. I need to... Okay, I need to have Earthquake go up. This is ridiculous. Or Earthquake. I need to pre-have Shelter go up before I fight these guys. Okay, maybe I should step back a little bit. Or, you know, get this aggressive ooze in on the action. Good old Olivia bipping people. Haha, Shockwave is an excellent way to get enemies to kill themselves. There's a worm boss that you have to kill for one of the quest chains. And I remember I put Pain Inverter on it. It shockwaved my entire party and instantly killed itself. Like, basically wiped my party. I think it's actually a clip or highlight on my channel here. But it was really funny. Yeah, I need to get Livia an enchanting staff. Because that would be... Okay, it's not worth standing here for 80 gold. Ah, yes, I could use up this ID kit. 17% longer is not that far off of max, but I have it 19% longer, which is pretty close. Depends on how they do rounding. Okay, so you're a Fierce Rain. Give me the goods.
The Charr shall rule.
That was the goods, thank you. Okay. This is the part where I clear out my inventory. I'm going to run some ads while I clear my inventory. So I will, because that, for those who don't know, running advertisements means that the pre-roll ads that you get when you join a channel are suspended for a little while. So I'm going to run some ads while I clear out my inventory. Okay, what do I got here? Chakram. Yeah, just a bunch of... Oh, that's highly salvageable. Yes. That's a bunch of iron. That's excellent. Get some dust from these blobs of ooze. Oh, that was already ID'd. That was already ID'd. Okay, those are not ID'd. And this, I don't really care about most of these. Does a defensive staff head have appeal to me? Do I already have a defensive staff head? That's... Got a couple insightful staves hanging out. I already have a defensive staff head. Okay, I don't really need another one. So this stuff can all just be merged. Cool. Do I want... How's casting time of spells? I don't really need this scythe. I'm going to sell that scythe also, I think.
You may be useful.
Yes, I want to sell that. Okay, I don't know if the ad break has finished yet or not, because it's set to go for 1.5 minutes, and I don't know if it's been one or not. But okay, I want to change up my party. So let's change up my party. There are a couple of things that are generally going to be a little bit core in what I'm doing. So I'm going to keep Dunkoro and Prius around, because that's the Healy defensive team part. Yes, I am using Jamie's Gaze. And then, yeah, he's just Soul Twist. So let's do... Because typically... Let's see. Is she... Okay. maybe don't need mist form here. But I want to do stuff with her. I like Livia. She's in a neat spot. I'm going to keep bringing her. General Morgan is just generally useful. I think I'm going to bring Zenmai. And you know what? Let's go ahead and grab Pyre Fierce Shot for this. Let's just do something different where I'm not relying on Mesmer so much. I don't really need Mist Form here. So the question I have at this point is, do I want to bring a Water Elite? Or do I want to bring... this is an interesting question, because I could also bring Mirror of Ice, which has some potentially good benefits with what this is trying to do overall. Or I could bring Elemental Attunement. And yeah, I think I'm going to do Elemental Attunement. And then bring as well Incendiary Bonds, perhaps. And kind of go like this. Because Elemental Flame makes things like Deep Freeze, Inflict Burning, which is really cool. There's probably some enemies in here where that's not going to be as effective. But I also like what she's doing. The Strip Enchantment, Bip, Well of Blood, Signal of Lost Souls with some Earth Magic support. General Morgan is just generally useful. Fallback incoming, all that business. Zenmai. Ooh, now this is an interesting question, because one of the things that I don't have a whole lot right now is condition control. This team is just kind of low on that. That is not what I'm going to be having you do, Pyre. I appreciate the thought. So one of the things that I can do is... it's just a flesh wound. Lyric of Zeal has the benefit of providing some energy to a few of these guys, so I might keep it around, I might not. I'm not sure if I want to use it's just a flesh wound or not. This is a good way of being able to clear conditions, but one of the things that's going to happen is she's going to need some support with that. There are different ways that I can approach it. What I might do is go to Livia and say, okay, maybe I don't really need Well of Blood. Maybe I want Foul Feast instead. If I run Foul Feast on her, then it's just a flesh wound can be used to clear her up when she Foul Feasts stuff over. And I like running as just a flesh wound on like an assassin like this, because they just don't really need their elite slot particularly. I'll leave Lyric of Zeal around as well. I think that's a useful skill for a number of different characters. Yeah, and he has Hexbreakers. I like to have Hexbreaker area going on. Otherwise, this stuff is all probably fine. Okay, so the question then becomes, what do I want to do with Pyre Fierce Shot? So I have a couple of different directions I could take him. Probably not going to use Communing. Probably will bring Antidote Signet just because it's useful. I do find myself liking to use Body Shot. I don't think I'm going to, because I don't really know that I'm going to be trying to inflict cracked armor. So I can go for more of a barrage sort of route, where the focus is kind of on AoE stuff, or I can try to do some stuff with preparations. What I've been liking lately is Expert Focus is a preparation that makes skills deal more damage but also cost less energy, which is actually fairly useful with some of the more expensive skills in terms of the higher energy, more spammable bow attacks. So I think I might go that direction. Specifically, well, I definitely want Savage Shot and Distracting Shot because those are useful. But I'm looking also for Sundering. Yes. Here we are. And Concussion Shot. And so I might go with Prepared Shot, because that would be a form of additional energy management that can help, because it's fairly energy intensive. I could also go Burning Arrow, but this loses a bit of luster in the face of the amount of burning that my Elementalist is going to be inflicting. It means that the burning from that is not as valuable. I could also go for Punishing Shot if I want more interrupts, but I think there's enough interrupts, so I'm going to go for a Prepared Shot, because I want the potential additional energy support, especially because Concussion Shot is something that can be kind of spammed. Still very expensive, but with this much expertise, it gets reduced to kind of a palatable level, as it were. So I am somewhat limited in Resurrects with this configuration. So that's something I'm going to want to be aware of as well. And in fact, I think I might drop Critical Eye on her for a Signet of Return, so that way she has the ability to resurrect people. It's not like the best, but 35% health is not terrible. And I think I might rely on the other characters for resurrecting here. So that way, actually, let's go /monk. I'm going to put Restore Life on him just because it gives high amounts of energy. It's a touch range spell, so expertise applies to it, which is useful. And I'm going to switch myself up from Illusion Magic. I'm going to go over into Domination. Now, looking holistically at our party, he's got a good bit of disruption. She's some damage. He's got a little bit of damage. She's got a little bit of damage. She's kind of damaged. I'm definitely going to need to focus on dealing damage. So that suits me fairly fine. I think I'm going to keep using these PvE only skills because they're useful ones. A Natural Sickness good. Let's see. I need to switch some stuff around. This is Inspiration, Fast Casting. Yeah, this one. I should have... Yeah, that's Fast Casting. Okay. So, what do we have otherwise? Oh, right. I need to put on my Domination hat as well. So, Cry of Frustration is a very useful interrupt. Now, I have a couple options. Energy Surge is more damage, which is probably the direction I'm going to lean. Psychic Instability would be some good additional disruption. There's an argument for going that direction. Visions of Regret is a potential damage source as well. I think I might try Visions of Regret because I often do Energy Surge. So I kind of want to try out Visions and see how that feels. And then I think I'm going to bring Chaos Storm and Complicate. And then I have a Necrosis for additional direct damage. I don't know if that's a better choice or a worse choice than Spiritual Pain, but it has a shorter recharge. And if I'm applying Visions of Regret, that gives me something to work with. And there's a bunch of conditions or hexes being applied over here. I believe it's hex or condition, though. So I've got a decent amount of conditions being applied otherwise in terms of burning as well, although the hexes are going to be more prominent. This team is definitely different than the previous one, but it shows a little bit of a different side to Mesmer, so that's kind of the goal with some of that. Okay, let's go ahead and talk to Gron here. What is Veiled Threat? I will take this. I'm not going to do that just yet. I'm going to do Temple of the Damned.
The Charr shall rule.
Do I talk to you? Okay. When we were down there, we heard the eerie whisper of a name, Murikai. You must defeat her. Well, let's go do that. Oh yeah, these are, I think. Yeah, you give a blindfold for a bunch of these dice chalices. And are you the? Oh, okay. Dread mask for a bunch of these. I don't think I've ever collected those. This is definitely an interesting dungeon in terms of the collectibles that it kind of goes for. The relics are haunted. I hate the dead. GF of Doomlore Shrine. It's Gron Fierceblade. And we also have another collector over here. A lot of collectors in this area.
Why are you bothering me?
And he wants stone claws and gives us a bunch of stance gear, some other random stuff. These are staves. Okay, well, let's see how things go. Now, it's going to take me a little bit to remember how to play an interrupt-focused Mesmer, so... Okay, that was a different one. This is a very different mindset when you're trying to interrupt. Oh, got a Warhammer over there. That's nice. It's the part where I wish I had more interrupts, isn't it? Always the case. But hey, we got a Warhammer, so that's cool. Energy Surge. So largely, what a lot of people are going to tell you is probably the best thing to do is Mistrust is an extremely powerful Punisher skill for offensive casters, and Energy Surge is just an incredibly efficient damage elite. So that's predominantly like Energy Surge has a couple things going for it. It's only 5 energy for you. 15-second recharge is fairly quick with fast casting recharge buff rate, and it's nearby AoE, which is really strong. So this deals 99 damage in a nearby AoE, which is fairly large AoE. So that does a lot of just direct target damage. So that's... Energy Surge is not necessarily the heart of the build per se, but it's just kind of part of the focus on AoE damage. So yeah, it is largely about AoE damage through a couple of different methods. There we go. Need to stop those from going off. Yeah, you don't need a dual shot here. Thank you. And thank you for them. How are you doing today? Okay, got an area map. Let's check it out. Now, I saw a ping somewhere near here. Right next to this spirit. Just a little too far to actually activate it. Cool. Exams for, what are you having exams on? Aha, Dwarven Ghost. I see. Let's see, we've got... Just... power block, why? Why? Power block is one of those skills that, like, kinda is rough. Yeah, you don't need that. Well, Visions were good, did good work there. Welding engineer, cool. How do exams for that go? Is it like a practical exam where you have to demonstrate your capability, or is it like information about welding? Yes, keep reversing damage and then regretting it. Just knowledge? Okay. So it's details of like how welding works, I guess, then. The undead are tearing this place apart. Who the heck are we talking to? Leave now if you know what's good for you. Stand down for a ball. We're going through that door. Hold your tongue. If you want this gate open, it'll be over our corpses. Well, that can be arranged. I do not need to stand here. I need to stand not here, in fact. Oh, goodness. There's stuff everywhere. You guys have this on you. Spirit of Anguish is using Anguish for some reason. This is a shock to absolutely no one. This is not the character I'd get Fissure of Woe armor on, actually. I don't like most of the Fissure of Woe sets, but I like the female warrior set. So if I were to get Fissure of Woe armor, I'd get it on my female warrior. That's a lot of materials, though. I'm actually eyeing the Norn armor on this character. So I'll probably get that at some point. Let's see. I got the dungeon key. Okay, for this door? Yes, it is for this door. I like how many different styles they have in the game, so different people can have different preferences. Well, I'm kind of in the middle of this dungeon, but after I got through it, would you still have time after that? I mean, it's a lot of materials and whatnot, but... Did I talk to the Beacon of Draknir? No, I did not. Well, I have about 2 hours left to stream today. If I were to get Fissure of Woe armor, that would be what I would get. Is the female warrior. But right now I'm going through this dungeon on this character, so I kind of want to finish the dungeon. You will do Ray of Judgments. Yeah, no Ray of Judgment. Alrighty, if you want to do that, I certainly don't object. This is a weird question. Can Bloodsong's attack be interrupted long enough to keep it from actually... Like, if I complicate it, will that stop it from doing stuff? Oh, there's several pings in the area. Okay. Yeah, if you want to do that, I mean, I'll certainly accept. Probably not worth talking to any of those other chests. Let's go to the next floor. Cathedral of Flames level 2. I think this has 3 levels. It does when you go in. I think Band of Brothers takes place in this dungeon. Not quite sure how that works. Let's see. Wow, Vision of Regret is inadvertently really good against these guys. Heh, it does seem to disable Bloodsong for a little while. That's interesting. Ah, there's an area map over here. Most convenient. Okay, let's not stand in this. Let's not stand in this. Let's not stand in this. Okay, we got a couple of pings. Stop trying to banish us. I don't know what you're trying to banish, but I need my things. Wait, did I say ping over here? Okay, there's one over there. Ah, I missed the Shatter Enchantment. Oh well. Ooh, superb char carving. Okay, I want this area map. Okay, looks like we've got another locked door over there. These second floor dungeon or treasures, hidden treasures, are significantly more valuable than first floor ones. $174 gold in that one. Wow, I don't know how that thing lost so much health so quickly, but I accept. Okay, here's the next ping. So let's go ahead and get this. 191 gold in that one. That's cool. Hey, out of my face, Crypt Ghoul. Alright, Standing Chaos Storm, though. That I will accept. Okay, nothing showing up on the pings. Need to remember I have Necrosis. Keep kind of forgetting after a fashion. I still don't know why they didn't make Pain Inverters like Monk Smiting Prayers hacks. It feels kind of like a Smiting Prayers hex to me. But then Smiting Prayers has always been a little underappreciated, perhaps. I kind of want to open this locked chest. Well, at least I kept my lockpick. I say every single time I keep my lockpick when I open a purple. What's in this hammer? Whew, that was not a good hammer. Under Flame Caller. Well, I got power blocked. -20-second recharge, minus 40%. Gonna be, let's see, roughly 0.6. So 12-second recharge? Oh. There's a bunch of stuff in the lava over there. Not sure what I think about that. I mean, it's just lava. Dungeon map. Yep. Nothing like wading through lava looking for treasure. Boy. Ouch. Okay. Got some crypt slashers. Maybe I should have brought some smiting prayers. You know what? Whatever, just... Okay, Spirit of Destruction, Spirit of Bloodsong. Those are good to kill from a distance, Zenmai. Okay, let's see if I can get some nice... how about you don't do that, or that? Oh yeah, do spam Death Nova. Preferably, no. Dunkoro, be less dead, please. Thank you. Spears? Get out of here, Restless Dead. Okay, no other loot. Good. Hi, you Master of Murakai. I wonder if that's a ghost, the ally. Let's investigate while getting a bit of a lay of the land. Nope, it's hidden treasure. 161 gold, even. I feel like this Keymaster of Murokai is going to be important. You can stop attacking Dunkor anytime. No Scourge healing. Did he just take damage off of reversal of damage from Pain Inverter? Is that how that works? I realize all of a sudden I don't know how this game assigns damage necessarily for the purposes of a Pain Inverter, but I think it did do that, which is rather interesting. Okay. Got the Beacon of Draknir thing. The thing of Murokai went this way. Also, this seems to be the only way forward, so let's go this way. Enchanted daggers. Huh. Okay, there's a thing over there in the corner. I feel like Visions of Regret could be really strong against assassins. Also, these things spam Barbed Spear, so I can see it being pretty good against these too. Why was Barrage easier to interrupt than Barbed Spear? You know what? I bet both have slower attack speed. Huh. Enchanted Hammer is over there. Okay. And let's see what's inside this. Ooh. 116 gold. I will say, Visions of Regret is doing a pretty good job on some of these enemies. Wait, that's Livia. The Enchanted Daggers using Disrupting Stab. See, what I'd be interested in is a weapon mods trader, because there are certain weapon mods I'd like to get my hands on. And this game does not make it easy to do that sometimes. I just accidentally interrupted for lethal an attack skill. Interesting. Oh man, all those numbers are so pretty. See, it's stuff like that that makes like Vow of Strength, Sand Shards with Splinter Weapon on you, and like Whirlwind Attack or something real fun. When you get vast, ludicrous numbers of numbers. Okay, where's the you? I think there was a ping around here somewhere, wasn't there? Oh yeah, I was over here in the corner. Let's salvage some of this stuff to try to open up inventory space. That was bones. Interesting. I don't know what I was expecting, but I should have anticipated that something called a stonehead hammer salvaged into stone. And speaking of stone, here's a stone chakram. Excellent for Colette to throw at your enemies. That's a cool view over there. This is neat. I love the way that ArenaNet did their ruins in these games. Some of them are just so cool. Heh. There's not a stairs here. How's this thing even laid out? Can I go over this way? Is this a way that goes? Is a way that goes. Excellent. That's cool. It's like, ooh. Yeah, let's make that pillar disappear. Calling. Sometimes, Guild Wars, you cull at the wrong times, C-U-L-L, and make things disappear that really have no business disappearing. Oh, is this a little bonus area just for those chests? Anything over here? No, it's just purple. Yep, nothing over here. Fascinating. Why? So I feel like icy bowstrings are the most common type of bowstring. I don't know if anybody else has had any experience like that, but I feel like I have found a bunch of icy bowstrings. But like fiery, no ray of judgment, please. No banish, please. I think Dunkoro keeps getting wrecked by anti-healing stuff. My impression. Ah, one kill short. Okay, where are we trying to get to? Over there, but we need to go through that to get to that, to get to there, to get to there. Sure. That works. Just waiting for Light of Deldrimmer to recharge. Ah, boy. Now I'm picturing using Glyph of Renewal on Light of Deldrimor. There is a way over somewhere, isn't there? Yeah, that's a bridge right there. Can I get down to it? No. But I can go around to where I need to be, so that works. So are Ash Phantoms... No, those are... Okay, Crypt Banshees are the monks. No Ray of Judgment, please. Ugh, I was late for Ray of Judgment. Oh well. I got a thing on it. That should do a good job of addressing some of the issue. Oh, is there another treasure up there that I missed? That's okay, I'm not going back for it. I will go get this one, though. Oh, another lockpick. These seem to hold dungeon maps, lockpicks, or gold. I think sometimes they can hold other stuff, but that seems to be predominantly what I get from them. Wait, that's backwards. I need to go this way. Wait, this doesn't go anywhere. Okay, now I'm confused. Oh, I think the way forward's maybe over this way somewhere? How does the geography of this place work, even? Isn't this... Yeah, this is just a loop with that. And then there's something else up there. And I can go around this lava fissure thing. Oh, I see it is. There's a bend in the road over here, and I overlooked it. Because I didn't see it on the way back, because it was kind of angled away from the direction I was facing. That makes sense. Okay. Well, we're going to go fight some things. Heh. Pain Inverter's so good against elementalist enemies. You know, I should have brought They're on Fire on... General Morgan. Oh, those are further away than I thought they were. Let's not go down those stairs and aggro two groups at once. A lot of enchanted weaponry around here. I should probably consider running Guardian on somebody. You will not disturb the Lady Mordecai, says Mordecai's steward. I beg to differ. Crypt ghouls. Lots of crypt ghouls, kind of just... Reap Impurities. Reap Impurities is a skill that I've tried to make work, but it's kind of tricky. It has the sort of... same conundrum I have with... Corrupt Enchantments. Oh, I should not be standing here. What's even going on over here? Stop clumping up on me. Okay, I'll accept a bip. That's useful. Okay, Scourge Healing has long enough cast time that I was able to stop that from happening. The real problem is this room is full of poison traps. So let's not stay here. I don't think I've ever maxed out Shunlai chest. Huh, weird. Can happen though. Indeed. Hamburger XD? Is that how I pronounce it? See, some stuff is easier to pronounce in, or it's like you can read it in your head and be like, yes, that's totally the thing. But then when you go to pronounce it, you're like, I'm not entirely sure how I'm supposed to pronounce this correctly. That's what I get for casting Chaos Storm instead of paying. Okay, this dungeon just is full of warhammers. Are you talking about the boardwalk? Yeah, this is the second rare warhammer I've gotten. This one is arguably better, since it's max damage. Okay, I need to spend a moment salvaging some random junk. Inventory space purposes. That's dust. Dust is a different thing. Ah, sure. I need to wait for that. Okay, good. Which direction am I actually heading? I know this is... Okay, so it's just beyond where the Hierophant hung out. Ah, why must it always be fire traps? Hmm. Okay. Petition to receive Ula's anti-flame trap golem in this locale. Does this spot give us a moment of freedom from those? Yeah, that's a lot more capital than I spend way too much on skills to have much lying around cash-wise. So you've arrived at last. No matter, my cataclysm will let you feel death's sweet embrace soon enough. In the meantime, be a good little toy and keep my children entertained. Oh, boys, it's playtime. Well, that's slightly unnerving. What, 1,000 plus Fissure of Woe sets? Yeah. Some of y'all have definitely interacted with the game at a higher economic level than I have. Yeah. Okay, Murakai, Lady of the Night. What do you do? Okay, you make me wish I led with pain inverters. What you do? Hmm. Uh, that is some condition spam. Oh, goodness, fragility. Why did it have to be fragility? She's just very durable. Also, she sheds hexes and conditions very quickly. I'm noticing. Hey, there she goes. Excellent. Ooh, I got a hero skill point, too. That must mean I leveled up my Ebon Vanguard. Exquisite. Uh-huh, and then Karambits, of course. Okay, I don't think there's anything I need to hang out in this zone for, right? Yeah. Multiple arm braces. Multiple 1,000 arm braces? That's crazy. Like, it's interesting thinking about some of those differences in scale, you know? What do you do with an exquisite Sturmia carving? Hey, thanks for the follow. It is appreciated. Wow. Yeah, I guess the speed clear stuff really is a different sort of order magnet. Wow, this person's cape is really similar to mine. Really similar. Interesting. Hey, was that supposed to be half or half? Or
You
hey, Grunt.
want something meat?
Oh, okay, yeah, for Fissure of Woe. I think it's only a matter of time before Mordecai returns, but for the moment the spirits seem peaceable. With these relics, perhaps we can bribe our way out of the camp next time you aren't around to rescue us. Ah. Okay, so the carving is for the quest. Yeah, okay, I can switch over to the warrior. Let me clear out this inventory and I will do that. Actually, I don't need to clear out this inventory before I do that. Over here. I was poking things with my pokey sticks. Vow of Silence. Does that prevent... I mean, I'm not watching the YouTube link, but... I don't know the best place to go. I'll just go to TOA. Or TOTA? What do we call Temple of the Ages? Was it just TOA or TOTA? 20 more achievements must be performed to earn the favor of the gods. This you, I'm assuming Sakura and Yoshi? Okay. Hello. Anything in particular I should be doing here? Five items. Oh yeah, because you need all those. Wow. Thank you very, very much, by the way. I'm gonna move these to the bottom. I'm guessing I should probably not just be running. Okay. I'll just do this dagger thing then, although maybe not dodge this. Maybe... What would be... A Surin scan. A Surin scan would probably be a good idea. I don't know if anything blocks or blinds in here, but... Oh man, you have Zairi. Now that's an accomplishment. Guess I can switch to ready. Or maybe I should be running Shadow Step. I don't know. You know what I wish? That they hadn't taken Shadow Walk and stepped all over it. I understand why they did it for PvP, but I wish they'd left, like, split it and left it alone in PvE. Oh well. That's how it goes, I guess. Yeah, let's go with Death Charge instead. Should be ready to go. I'm gonna poke things. Man, I have not been in Fissure of Woe in quite a long time. Oh man, Zairi without a hat. Heh. And just right off drops a B shard. That's funny. Oh man, it's neat to be back in the Fissure of Woe. Haven't been here in a long while. One of the weaknesses of the build I'm currently trying to use is that it really relies on getting multiple hits in to build up its energy, and things are dying so quickly. It's hard to do that. Yeah, we re-wrecked your Shadow Army, Rastigan the Eternal. Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're both trying to do the same thing of stab things in the face, too. Are you using Jagged Fox Fangs, or... Oh, man. I love the Wailing Forest. It's such a cool area. Oh, Jagged Strike Fox Fangs. I was just trying to figure out what your combo lead off was because your attack animations were quick enough that I was thinking is probably Jagged Strike Fox Fangs. Yep, that was my thought. Ah, does that increase stats as well? Yeah. I mean, I'm using Burst of Aggression. Heh. Pumpkin pie. Sure, I'll eat some pie. Why not? Oh, you turned yourself into a ghostly hero. I got confused. Here, I'll turn myself into Miku. Oh. Yeah, Moobot apparently didn't like all caps there. I see the life bond. Life bonding enemies. What, the High Noon? Yeah, the Decade Dagger's High Noon. You can get it during the one event. It's just a green. Boy, that's ridiculous. Yeah, okay, let's not stand in dust. Zealous Fortitude, and then they have a special mod that increases damage during festival events. Yeah, I don't know if you can read it there in the corner. They look sweet. I also have Delrimmer daggers, which are just 15 over 50, but otherwise the same. I feel like I'm getting more damage out of my I am the strongest in my actual attack skills. Mm-hmm. I find I usually want Zealous on my daggers, but I can understand wanting other mods. Yeah. I get you. Oh man, you got yellow dye. Clearly the superior is to die. Shadow beasts. Stop consuming all the corpses. Oh, Elias's bip. Hmm. Yeah. It's kind of like a well, it's two fiery gladiuses, right? But can't touch this. What are we stopping them from touching us with? That's my question. You could always have them for like random casual stuff, just because they look cool. Of course, I don't know what your typical play patterns are, so. Cry of frustration. Yeah. Ah, gotcha. Usually Underworld, I'm assuming. I have gotten, like, the few Ecto Drop, or most of the Ecto Drops I've gotten have probably been from TOPK. I want to go do that sometime on this channel as well. Not quite sure when. I kind of want to finish going through the dungeons, and then I want to finally explore DOA as a person who does not know what goes on in there at all, and see what it's like. Ecto's in TOPK. Yeah. Usually when I go there, I go all the way to the darkness, or try to, I think. Wow. Completed 2 of 11 quests. Okay, Eternal Forgeman. Okay, we need to defend the Temple of War, and then he forges stuff for us. Is that how this goes? It's been a long time since I've been in here. I haven't really spent much time in the underworld. I like bringing Gwen down there. I think that's a fun set of interactions, but I've mostly done some of the side Halloween stuff. Sometime, and maybe when some of y'all have some availability to do it and I have more time than Wednesday provides me, it would be cool to do UW all the way through. I'd enjoy that. Yeah. I do vaguely recall that. Sign of Spirits. Okay, Shadow Beasts. Where are you coming from? Okay, bunch of dudes coming down that way. I don't know how much our flank needs watching. Making sure those Shadow Beasts stay put. Heh. I understand. If it seemed reasonable, I might want to like do Thunderhead Keep by walking out and killing all of the mobs outside the doors. That takes so freaking long. Yeah. Some of these defense missions, especially in normal mode, can be a little underwhelming, shall we say. Mm-hmm. Okay. Sure. Yeah, restore temple. Hey, skill point. How's this character on skill points? A little bit lower than some. I like to spend all my gold on pointless skills that I'll never use. That's a little bit of a joke, but it's not entirely. Now, is the cave full of spiders? Am I remembering that correctly? Do I have yes, I have 13 Dagger Mastery right now. And Mesmers, of course. Are they the clumsiness variety of Mesmer? See, you know what I think would be really interesting? Is if they were to go back and redesign the Underworld and Fissure of Woe, particularly Fissure of Woe, with more how they were doing enemy design in like War and Kryta and stuff. How would they do things differently? Yeah. It's like, why did I capture Withdraw Hexes? I'm never going to use Withdraw Hexes. It's a badly designed skill. Sure. Yeah, that's probably true. It'd probably be a different, interesting challenge, but I can see it being bad for speed clears if they went too far in the... Yeah. Like, it's not something that's going to happen. But it's just interesting to think about, like... Heh. Aha. I mean, if I could, I would love to be able to at least think about doing... Well, but like some point in time, I want to make a tactics game that uses some of the ideas from how this build system works, but more of a procedurally generated, like, dungeon crawling tactics game. I would love to see endgame areas for the other three deities. Melandru's zone, Dwayna's zone and Alyssa's zone. I don't even know what these spiders are trying to do. They're just hanging out back here, cold shotting everything. It's always a bit of a mystery that they didn't have all of them. That seems like something that they could have added in the process of like making factions and whatnot. Do I have any lockpicks on this character? Lockpicks are not going to be in the equipment tab. Don't be silly. Oh, I mean, if you want to give me 23 lockpicks, I'll take 23 lockpicks. But hey, divine symbol. Yeah. Time to craft indeed. Time to... Heh. I mean, it's a gold to ID for Wisdom title track. I don't need this protective icon, or the shadow bow, or the shadow bow, or this holy rod. Or these dark remains. Yeah. Well, it's yeah, I mean I've talked extensively about Guild Wars 2. I haven't really played many other MMOs, so I don't have a basis of comparison. My problem is that it feels like it sits it's not enough action game and not enough Guild Wars 1, which Guild Wars 1 isn't exactly an action game, it's whatever. But it's just like it's in this awkward in-between place. I don't know. For me, I don't quite enjoy what Guild Wars 2 is, but I mean that's my own personal issues. Hey, Forge Master. Why is he? Oh, was I supposed to grab these quests at the same time you were grabbing these quests? Because he's totally asking me to protect the temple. Okay, I see. So they just... I gotcha. Okay, well, let's start with chest piece, arms, legs, boots, and I guess I get a hat. Ooh, that's a tricky question. What hat should I grab? Yeah. Well, a big thanks to... I want to pronounce it... I don't know. Sakura Ren Kiyoshi. How's that? For the materials and all that stuff. Yeah, strength is what I'm leaning towards as well. Well, thank you very, very, very much. Let's try to get this organized in some sort of way that makes any amount of sense. I'll need to get it actual equipment. I mean, I've got an hour. Do you want to continue going through Fissure of Woe? Okay. Yeah, well, I will... Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, it's important to do well on your tests. I do kind of wish that there was a way to cancel out, but, I mean, I can look at this here. Oh, man, that is stylish. Well, thank you very much. Hey, hello. Hello, Matthew. Okay, so I guess we just leave here. Not in a position where you can do that, eh? I'm gonna pop back to the guild hall. Let's see. I'm gonna go switch back to the Mesmer for a bit, so that way I can. Oh man. Now I'm gonna need to figure out dyes and all sorts of stuff. Well, thank you very much for dropping by. Sinus. Was it Sinus? I'm trying to remember. I want to make sure I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Okay. Sinus is fine. Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to go swap back to the Mesmer so I can do some more dungeons over there on him. But glowy hands, Mesmer. Now, which one should I go do? Right, the one where I clear my inventory of random stuff. Heavy is actually vaguely useful for a hammer, I suppose. Boy, I need to reorient myself to what I was doing over here. I got some karambits. Poisonous karambits. Ooh, max guided by fate. I will take that out of those. So I'm always happy for a guided by fate mod, because that's useful. Yeah, I don't need anything from that hammer. Like, they need to figure out what their endgame and playstyle and stuff are going to be too. Like, MMO is a super hard genre to get into because, like, the selling point is the community. And if you're not able to get that for whatever reason, like, if you're not able to develop the sort of community that needs to be developed, then it's going to be really hard to actually. I do not need this icy bowstring. I do not know when I'm going to make an icy bow, and icy bowstrings seem to drop a lot. Like, I've made enough icy bows. Yeah. The 6 months schedule was really difficult, but they're also running into design space issues, whereas making it really hard for them to figure out like new professions that had distinction and how to tutorial everything because they made the decision to carry everything forward from factions in terms of the professions when they made Nightfall, and so they're building a huge burden for themselves. And like I understand and respect the reasons why they made the change to Guild Wars 2, but it's not my type of game. I could go down. Let's see. There's Rargar's Menagerie. You know what? I should go do that one because. Oh wait, but there's also this one. I have about an hour left. I'm trying to think of what dungeons would be a good idea with the time I have. Part of it is I'm not entirely familiar with all the dungeons. I know there's. Yeah, part of it's the business model. Is how often are you getting an influx of cash from releasing something new? That complicates everything. I'm just gonna switch over to E-Surge, I think. Do I have? No, I do not. I do not have Spiteful Spirit on this character. That's okay. Pyre, how are you doing? Yeah, I mean, having It's Just a Flesh Wounds assassin is a bit silly, isn't it? But it's fun in its own silly way. What I'm thinking is I'm going to head down towards, the level 20. Yeah, but that's the thing is their character progression wasn't based on level, right? And that's what makes it so wonky. I kind of want to just, like, echo Chaos Storm, but that's kind of silly, too. You know what? I'm going to just run Mantra of Recovery. That's what I've decided. Never mind Necrosis as well. Let's do... Empathy? Yeah, let's do Empathy. Yeah, Mantra of Recovery. That sounds good. And maybe that. Yeah. Is a very different model for how things should work. Absolutely. Okay, I think I'm going to... Because this direction leads me towards... Hang on. I'm going to make sure I know where Brave Brent Paltroon... Brent Paltroon. Because I want to... That's not the character. That's the character. Poltroon. Yes. Where is his... Okay, over there. I thought so. Means like max stats, and then once you hit max stats, what does it matter at that point, right? And, yeah, I still like Pyre the way it is. I still like it's just a flesh wound going on. So what I want to do is I think I'm going to do the Brave Brent Paltroon set of quests that get me a bunch of skills on my way to, because it is on the way to that dungeon, which I think is Raggar's Menagerie. Yeah. I'm really glad they added heroes, and I'm really glad that they set up 7 hero parties before the end of the game. It added a lot to its ability to be fun to continue to play long into its I don't know, waning years. I don't like thinking of them that way, but we're gonna be hitting some of the Winter's Day stuff soon too. It's gonna be good times. Boy howdy. See, okay, who is lagging behind? Dunkoro, why are you lagging behind and trying to get yourself killed? See, I think back to... Oh, no, Siege Devourer. Starting Prophecies. And my first experiences with Prophecies. Oh, there's nobody near me anymore. Yeah, the first Halloween event was so cool. No images of remorse. Stupid manted get back up mechanic. First Halloween was great. I remember that. I also... Oh, I have Anton's stupid quest. Maybe I should do that too while I'm here. Oh, don't stand in meteor shower. Don't stand in meteor shower. Stop standing in meteor shower. Stop standing in meteor shower. Did you just drop another one? Did you really need to? Hmm. Okay, which way is Anton? Or these guys can just get angry at me. I must have Anton's quest because these guys are here. Yeah, this game is... I walked right past him, too. Okay. Apparently, we're going to be doing a bunch of quests on the way to the next dungeon. Yeah, I get that sort of nostalgia, like at Foible's Fair, for example. Because I started with Re-Searing, I started with Prophecies a couple months after it came out, and that whole transition to the Searing and stuff was just... Oh, man. Mine is 170 months now. Okay, there's something that might be relevant. Mantra of Persistence. Interesting. Yep. Got a Vita? Got a Vita. Boy, howdy. I don't know why that was so difficult to read. Has me beat, too. Okay, gotta. Sure. Okay, are all the mantids staying down now? Okay, hi, Anton. We killed your first group for you. Hmm. Oh, uh-huh. No clear, point of center. There's a lot of congregation around Shunlai chests and, Shunlai? Flame Shielder, you... Okay, that was maybe the wrong spell to interrupt, but that's okay. I have a Pyre Fear shot. He will take care of it. Yeah, I can understand that decision. I do think, I've come to think that the team balancing Guild Wars 1 were perhaps had a different idea of how to balance the game than the game should have been balanced with. Oh, power block, why? You know what? You power block me. I'm just going to walk in here and do this. Yeah, I can definitely respect not liking the direction they're taking PvP. What I want is because, I mean, I want the game to continue forever, but that's obviously somewhat unrealistic. what I would want is I would want them to release like all of the source code and server code and allow people to download their character data. I would want them to facilitate fans making servers, and to the point also where they could have fan builds that maybe balance the game a little differently. Where if you go to this fan server, maybe these skills are a little different, and that fan server, maybe these skills are different. That's what I would personally like the most. I think that's probably a little bit of a pipe dream, but that is what I would desire for a exit strategy, I guess, for lack of a better phrase. Nightfall had some good innovations, and I really like heroes. Prophecies is my favorite one. Oh, is this one where I need to go see Captain Langmar? Yeah, no, I'm not doing that right now. I like Prophecy stories best, but everybody has different preferences for storytelling too. I like Prophecy story because it has a slow build to saving the world type stuff. And I didn't like how factions and Nightfall, although Nightfall wasn't quite as aggressive with it in some regards, but I didn't like how much they were like, here's the world-ending threat that you need to go chase down now. Yeah. I think that's a totally reasonable reason. Like, everybody has different things that they're looking for, like I said. And I like the slow political burn, as it were, of Prophecies, personally, because that's what appeals to me in storytelling, right? But I do like that Nightfall went, okay, you've beaten Varish, and then it just goes a little bit further. It's like, no, you're not done yet. Yeah, having to get up to, was it Captain? I forget. The 1,000 Sun Spirit points. That could be a little tedious. Down this way that I want to go. Yeah. What is general? I don't know, because I have a good way through it. Isn't it? Is it 1,000? There are definitely some spots in some of the games that can be a bit slow. I find the worm section of Nightfall kind of tedious nowadays. Just the part of the game that I like best is the build craft, and the worms take that away. Let's see. Can I go up the hill over here? I would love to... I don't have a good sense of what Shiro's motivation was. I would like... I think I'd like factions better if I could understand what he was about. And Kaining was too big by at least 2 zones for me, personally. The, God, are you talking about the, yeah, the Sun Spear ranking thing? I don't think there's a way up over here. I think there is just past here, though. Okay, not enough enemies to have that scout give me anything. That's fine. Yeah. I'm looking forward to when Wooden Potatoes continues his Let's Play of Guild Wars 2, because I'm really interested in the story. I just find the game... And I don't know how Path of Fire is. I haven't gotten Path of Fire, and I'm not looking to do so. But I find Guild Wars 2's story interesting, but the gameplay really boring. Not bad, just boring. Yeah, I was really kind of like wanting to like it hard enough, and I still really want to like the game. That it was a big moment for me to realize I wasn't having fun playing it. I don't know, 8 months after it came out or something. And every now and then I've popped back in just to see, is this still the way I remembered it? And it's like, yeah, it's still kind of like really fun and exciting at first, and then just kind of like, okay, but now can I do something different? And it's like, no. I'm like, oh, I'm bored now. But again, it's like different sets of mechanics appeal to different people. I've thought a lot about what it is about Guild Wars 2 that makes me bored with the game, because I really don't want to be. I love the visual design of it. I love the character creator and the character customization. Well, I think a lot of it for me... yeah, the game is way too slow-paced. Guild Wars 1 is a way more fast-paced game. If you have ever played Monk, you know that a 4-second recharge feels really freaking long. Monk recharges is... yeah. Well, it's like... And that's the thing, is like Guild Wars 2's fundamental design requires really interesting enemies to fight, and then the pace of the play is really slow. And for most of the standard PvE, the enemies are really boring to fight. They're way too durable. I spend too long doing nothing. And that... Hey, thanks for the follow. And I need to make sure I make separate sounds for follow versus sub so I can recognize the difference when subs start happening. Note to self. But yeah, so it's like... Well, it depends upon where you are and how you're kitted out and how many players are around. But it's like really, really, really hard to balance the sort of game Guild Wars 2 is too, though. Because how do you accommodate for different quantities of players? That's one of the big challenges that they have. Because if you account for a lot of players, then it's too hard for a few players. And so they've done a lot to try to balance it, but... yeah. They're just fundamentally different designs. I still want more games that are mechanically like Guild Wars 1. It's a really enjoyable take on sort of the... It's like a collectible card game or trading card game adjacent, right? And I played Guild Wars 1 before I played Magic the Gathering, but there's a lot of similarities. They're not the same, but there's a lot of similarities. Which is why I feel like Guild Wars 1, to an extent, needs to be balanced like a TCG gets balanced. And I don't feel like it was. I feel like as being the team balancing it, especially under Izzy's guidance, was not quite balancing it that same way, or like according to the sort of game it was. And that's my impression of it or whatever. In retrospect, but yeah, we don't need to fight all these worms. It's just the farm fields. But yeah, the games are two fundamentally different games, and they're going to appeal to different people as results. And I love what Guild Wars 1 does, and I just don't care for what Guild Wars 2 does. Yeah. Well, there's a couple of things like from all the stuff that I've seen that they were trying to address that they had consternation with Guild Wars 1. One of them is fundamentally design space problem. That's not how they phrased it, but it's fundamentally a design space problem. Not a merchant over here. That would have been... So this is a complete aside. I'll get back to what I was just talking about in a moment. I really wish this was an outpost. Like right here, I wish this was a little town. Because having a little town here in the corner of Saknoth Valley would be so convenient. But anyway, so Guild Wars 1 had... One, it was a very difficult to balance game because there's lots of moving parts. And so they wanted to simplify the balancing process. Like, there's a bunch of stuff that talks about that. And that's why they got rid of secondary professions. That's why they got rid of the attribute system, the way it works, and all that stuff. Because they wanted to simplify those systems. Which I can understand, but that means you are making a different type of game fundamentally. Let's see what we aggro here. And so they were trying to go with simpler stuff. The other thing that they wanted to do is they wanted to make an open world game. Yeah. Well, and like for me, I don't have an interest in open world. That's not what I enjoy personally. I like the model of Guild Wars 1. Okay, so I've completed that quest. Who do I... Captain Langmar. I'm going to need to talk to Captain Langmar after this. Clearly. Veiled Threats. Ooh, Flesh Reaver Nephilim. I don't know much about these guys. They're paragons, though. Interesting. Or some of them are. Okay, are there any pings in this area? No. Okay, now I need to actually figure out how this dungeon works. There's a scrawled hide over here, so that tells me that's the direction forward, probably. Yeah, I feel like open world is something that it creates more design problems than it benefits, if that makes sense. Because suddenly it creates a ton of problems with balancing a ton of things that you now have to worry about. And the benefit is increased player interaction, but then you have to do stuff to make increased player interaction feasible and enjoyable. And I feel like part of that is like you're needing to put the emphasis on that, and open world PvP is a really strong way of emphasizing the value of player interaction. And otherwise, you're just making balance stuff really difficult for yourself for whatever reason. Well, I think they were going after the thing that was appealing to them in the... Again, I'm basing this off of what they have said, so take it with however big of a grain of salt you want. But a lot of the stuff that ArenaNet has said in some of the materials and stuff, as far as I remember, is that they were really excited by the idea of doing open world stuff. And fundamentally, I think that there was frustration with like design space restraints and having to make tutorials, and like they did not plan Guild Wars 1 out properly for how they were actually going to execute on their business model. They figured out what their business model was going to be, but I think they're so caught up in making Guild Wars 1 itself that they... Because I've done a lot of thinking about this. Like, fundamentally, there's only so much compelling design space before you start adding a lot of stuff that makes burden. And the model of adding new professions that they were going with is difficult because the initial 6 filled up so much design space already. And then they kind of committed themselves to carrying stuff forward to try to be like, okay, all those people who made it in Assassin and Factions, we've got new stuff for you in Nightfall. And it just starts becoming... It starts becoming a lot of stuff to maintain and all these sorts of things. And I love Guild Wars 1. I love what it's doing. But I think the initial conception of it could have taken more consideration of how they were going to have design space. But it's a new thing. They didn't... And I don't necessarily fault them for where they're at. Yeah, no, absolutely. They could have added new campaigns without new classes. They could have done more expansion style stuff. They could have kept it going. Yeah, like EOTN, exactly. They could have made more content for it. They could have figured out different ways to express stuff. But when getting skills to some extent is character progression, it does incentivize them to at least have new skills. And that in and of itself can become tricky because you have to kind of figure out what are your professions and how do you make it so that way the professions each have a purpose and a role, which is something that I think they were struggling with some later on as well. But again, it all comes down to, because the heart and soul of it is, to some extent, the build system and how do the skills interact and how do you make stuff that's compelling. But I think giving players new content and doing more EOTN-like stuff, honestly, could have worked really well. And I will applaud them in Guild Wars 2 of saying, look, we're continuing the story. We're making expansions. We're not trying to do this campaign thing. Because I think the campaign thing... okay, now I have a map of what's going on here. What am I trying to do? Okay, I need to get to the Menagerie level 2 over there. There's a dungeon gate over there, and I have a key I need to get over there. There we go. So I started streaming this game... Oh, how long has it been now? Since, was it September-ish? I mean, people find stuff after a while. A couple months, I guess, that I've been going at the stream. Which I guess is the best I can answer that question. I've definitely talked about this stuff a lot with friends who haven't really played the game. But that's not quite the same thing as actually discussing it with people who are familiar with it, obviously. Is this a doorway I can go through? I mean, it's just me showing up and talking and seeing what people stick around, I guess. Twitch is an interesting place like that. It's a much better place for it than YouTube is, let me tell you. No, don't backfire me, bro. Oh yeah, I should be doing these. Okay, there is a ping up there on the hill. Okay. Let's go find that. You know what? I've been actually really happy with Mantra of Recovery. Well, I'm glad you found a place where we can have these sorts of conversations. That's cool. Ooh, I found a secret switch. Oh-ho. What have we here? Fire raining from the sky. That's what we have here. Oh dear. Okay, stuff a bit further on. Yeah. Well, they were really aggressive about trying to make it something that could run on as many machines as possible. When I saw the stuff where they're like, we regret to inform you that we're no longer supporting Windows 95. And I'm like, what? Wait, was that it? Was that secret switch in order to give me a ghostly ally? Yeah, this seems like a wall. That's a little underwhelming. But okay. Oh, wait. I missed this. Aha. Cursor. Cursor. Get into a cooperative place. Okay. Are there any more glowy spots in lava? Putting this on a 33% faster recharge is really nice for doing this. That's why I decided to do Mantra of Recovery. I mean, part of my motivation. Okay, so it looks like I need to go back out this way and take a big loop around over to there. But yeah, they did a... Like, Guild Wars 1 is a really, really optimized game in a lot of respects. Which is quite impressive. Alright, let's let these... Livia and Dunkoro, catch up, please. I don't know what you're doing all the way back there, but... You are needed. In front of the thing. Flame Shielder. Defeat Warden. Ah, there's the Warden. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, Guild Wars 2 definitely has a... Or Guild Wars 1 has a much... a very low footprint. They wanted to make sure as many people could play it as possible. Yeah, no, I had a terrible compact laptop, I think. Up here... Wait. Nope, there's a door over here. Yeah. It is incredible how small they were able to get it and all that. Is there anything over here? Yes, there is in the middle of this group of enemies. What? Oh, Rhaegar Man-Eater's... Okay, I don't know what he's doing over here. You are a Mesmer, apparently. Yeah, Guild Wars 1, I agree. It's still a beautiful game. You get an empathy. And you get an empathy. Yeah, hey Ravager. Now, where is the... Here's the spot. Okay, it can be a ghost. Sure, why not? Okay, now I need to take this to the other side of the map. Yeah, it would be nice if they had a more sophisticated AI. But again, all that stuff requires the... Yeah, they kept the server side intentionally pretty light to run. Okay, now I need to go this direction. I just need to figure out what going that direction means in actual navigational terms. Oh. Maybe this way? Sometimes Twitch can do weird stuff where it changes people's colors. Like on the other end for some reason. Okay, here's the path forward. It's not the path? I mean, probably not, but it's a path to enemies. I found enemies here. Back up and left, eh? Well, this guy's gonna still have to stop res chanting. Oh, yeah, yeah, you're right. This is like a weird loop-de back thing. That's going to be to the right? Oh, man. Okay, so... Bit of a tangent. Yeah, over here. When I... yeah, that's what really nice. When I played... oh... Twilight Princess. Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. I got the GameCube version, but I had a game guide for the Wii version. I have the game guide for the Wii version, and all of the directions are mirrored left and right. So when it tells you to go left, you have to go right and vice versa, and it was very confusing. I see this. There are indeed bunches of oozes. Ah. Okay. I don't have enough hex control. That's what I'm seeing. I will take the backfire damage to stop the res chant. I've heard of it. I've not tried it. Magic's the main card game that I've played. Well, Magic the Gathering. Yeah. I'll probably try to look into it at some point in time. Hey, Blobby. Blobby, the clone of Blobby. Where even are these guys? Oh, they're on the other side of the rock. Magic of Recovery makes spiritual pain recharge so quickly. Yeah, I'm definitely interested in the premise of it. Pyre, please get... Okay, you know what? That works too. The enemy can just be dead. That also prevents them from dropping stuff on us. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. The other thing that it would solve is, like, one of my problems with trying to play MTG Arena, because I played that some during beta, but it, like, the experience of waiting for a player to make a move when you're sitting across from them at an actual table, and the experience of waiting for a player to make a move when you cannot see them, is a very different set of experiences. And I find that it gets very kind of tedious and boring to wait for players on the other side of a connection to make moves, where it's not a problem whatsoever if they're actually physically across from me, where I can see them thinking and interact and all that sort of stuff. Was it worth it? No, it was not worth it to aggro these ooze. I wonder how much dwarf rep I will have at the end of this.
Greetings, hero.
Yeah, I wanted the hook scythe. Okay, definitely time to begin salvaging stuff. Well, that did not work out. I never got into Hearthstone. Yeah. So if I ever make a TCG, and I have dreamed up plans for some, or thought up plans, I should say, I would absolutely do a living card game base model for it. I would want to do stuff that like has a booster product for like drafting and stuff like that. And that's a way that you could get kind of like what Magic's been doing with Eldraine with the storybook stuff, to get some of the fancier stuff. So that people could bling out decks, but if you just want like a 4 of, I want like a playset of stuff, I would want to offer a product that is, here's a playset of all of the cards in this set. Go have fun with it. Because I love the design and like the I like TCGs or CCGs or whatever sort of branch of that you want to talk about. Wow, that looked hilarious in that guy. Just a bunch of like 17s popping up. But I love the way those games work, but the monetary models of them are just icky to me. Hey, Earthbound Ooze. How do you feel about maybe not dividing? I accidentally found hidden treasure. That's cool. Okay, I'm not going to bother picking up that wailing staff. Makes me a little sad, but this way is a path forward. Yeah, I mean, it comes back to the fundamental question of how do you incentivize players to get new product? And that's always going to be an issue that has to be figured out with any of those sorts of games. You can maybe have an empathy. Okay, yeah, we are... So they're doing a really interesting skill combo of Mark of Rodgort plus Ignite Arrows, which is painful. Is there anything actually back here? Is this a path? Okay, there's more small chests. Or is this like completely not even a way anywhere? I cannot see. It is too dark. Well, yeah. Making sure budget options are available to play. This is just a dead end, isn't it? This is just a big ol' ugly dead end. It's not? Then what am I not seeing? Northeast. Oh, is there a tunnel over here? There is a tunnel over here. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Ravager. That was an invisible tunnel. Okay. I see what you're doing here. You are beguiling, hazing me. Are the Charr fighting the Nephilim, the Flesh Reavers? Yeah. It's probably over... Yeah, these guys right here. Unfortunately, I don't have 2 more hours. I have 20 minutes-ish, hopefully. Hopefully this is a 2-stage dungeon. Because I have to get ready for a tutoring shift, unfortunately. Let's see. Is there anything in this immediate vicinity I should be pinging? No. Wait, what are these Charr about? Oh. Why were these Charr sitting allied to me, and why are they now enemies? And I don't feel like looking for a map. Okay, so there's an area map right over there, but whatever. Which way is this rock going? These rocks do not obey physics at all. Okay, so that's a closed door. Blizzard was cool back in the day. Unfortunately, that is where that statement ends. I don't know a ton about everything these days, but hi, how's your life sheath working out for you? What the heck? Oh, that's just a wall of Charr. They're just closing all the doors behind them, aren't they? You are the one who uses backfire. Okay, that was the wrong target. I was like, wait, if I cry frustration this guy, that'll totally interrupt. And it did not totally interrupt the meteor shower that this guy was trying to do. I don't know why I thought it would. That's not how this works. If it was Keystone Signet... I had a lot of fun with StarCraft back in the day, and I love the Warcraft 3 map maker. Modding StarCraft was a lot of fun. Modding StarCraft is how I came to play this game, Guild Wars 1 here, because one of the people that I modded StarCraft with, back on the old warboards.org forums that are now defunct, discovered this game and told me about it. He told me about how cool it was to see Althea's stage upended after the searing. And that's why I'm playing this game now. It's because I went to a summer camp where I discovered StarCraft. Life is an interesting series of, like... So that's how these things happened? Sort of things sometimes, you know? Like weird chains of consequence. Alrighty-o. Now, where am I even going? There's a key. Okay, that's... This is not promising. For the amount of time I have left today. Which is unfortunate. They do not have a checkpoint in the middle of a dungeon. Yeah. Well, Blizzard today is not Blizzard. It's Activision Blizzard, right? Yeah, I don't know what impact they've had on it from a behind-the-scenes standpoint. But Activision certainly comes into this with perhaps not the best of reputations. And part of what hurts Blizzard, too, is needing to appeal to the Chinese market, which I understand the financial desire to. But, I mean, we can start getting into geopolitical politics stuff if we want to, but... yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Okay, can somebody explain to me what was happening there? I think I know. I think what was happening there... Death Pact Signet. Definitely want to make sure I'm staying away from... I mean, there's a certain point... I did not need to pick that up. There's a certain point where... Okay, I don't need this Gilded Edge. Well, I'll worry about what things I need to drop when I actually get to a point where I need to drop stuff. Okay. I felt that I needed to ping stuff, but I don't really. See, what I'm excited for is finishing that RPG I've been making in RPG Maker and then starting on a tactics game in Unity. Oh my goodness, Pain. Why Pain? Yeah, Guild Wars 1's like the only game that... Whoops, I am alive, and I did not realize it. The only game that really competes for me with Guild Wars 1 is Magic the Gathering in terms of games I've enjoyed and whatnot, like that appeal to me directly. I have a lot of nostalgia for a lot of different Legend of Zelda games and stuff, though. And I have really liked Pokemon. I have not played Sword and Shield, though, and I'm not really inclined to. What I want is I want the Pokemon game that's targeted at my demographic, not the same demographic that I was in when I first got into Pokemon, which is two very different things, unfortunately. Hey, there's a thing here. Yeah, I've heard that as well. Mm-hmm. Ah, another ghost. This is a much more linear section of the dungeon, which is very convenient for me at the moment. Ah, the meat is back. Good timing. I was just looking for a test subject. Hey, Rargar. Rargar. Yeah, let's not have meteor showers. Let's... Okay. Want to buy some energy. And a few of those sweet earth prayers, please. Or earth prayers. Earth magics. Yeah, like part of it is scheduling for games. Game design is just real difficult because there's a lot of unknowns that go on with developing stuff, and it's hard to make good estimates when you're dealing with a bunch of unknowns. As they say, discretion is the better part of staying alive. I mean, it certainly is something like that. We're going to chase you there. Hey, Pyrofear Shot is in my party and says, "Come back here, coward." That's fun. I mean, a lot of what you run into with some of the game design stuff is believing that certain release windows are really important to the success of games. And to an extent, that's true. Or at least the perception of that is true. I don't know if it's actually true or not, but that belief fuels a lot of stuff. Yeah, it's a neat touch. I like that sort of thing, too. Okay. Thanks for dropping on by. Yeah, I like the NPC or the interactions they added for the heroes in town too. There's cute little stories from that. Yeah. UTN has a lot of really nice polish in spots. Ow, 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 ow. Backfire, why backfire? You know what I bet some of the difficult spots have been random power leaks or power blocks on like important characters. Okay. It does make the world a lot more interesting though. I don't think that's just being a teenager thing. That's them paying attention to the little details and making the characters feel like they have at least some stuff going on, right? Almost like that I wish I could cast Gladiator's defense on someone. I guess that's almost Shield of Judgment. Oh, Shield of Judgment. Elder Nephilim. I guess we need to kill the Elder Nephilim. Shield of Reflection is not exactly Gladiator's defense, though. I'm talking about something that makes them kill themselves by attacking them. But I get what you're saying. Yeah, the damage reflect part, too. That's part of what I'm talking about. Okay, don't stand in Rays of Judgment. Oh man, I'm getting sudden flashbacks to when I did something in the Crystal Desert, I think, where I gave everyone Ray of Judgment, and it was silly. What I really remember also was when I was like, hey, what happens if I give every single member of my team Healing Whisper? And the answer was my damage just spent all of its time Healing Whispering the support, and we didn't get anywhere fast. Oh boy, that was bad. Whew. It was one of those things where it's like, this is an interesting idea. And then I learned from it. And what I learned was it was a bad idea. A very bad idea. Oh dear. Oh, power block. Oh, that door doesn't quite go out the way I was expecting it to. Hi, I'm over on this side of the enemies now for some reason. Defile and Desecrate enchantments, eh? That area over there is cool, but we're going downstairs. I don't have time to explore that cool side path. Indeed. Well, when they direct all of the AoE away from me, it works out quite nicely, you know? Oh, this room is just screaming pingables. It has no pingables. Weird. Oh, man. The old days of line backing with Hammer Warrior. Oh, billion pingables. Ah, missed chest thumper. I tried. I do have hex removal. I have Hexbreaker area. Why is that not helping more? I'm not sure how I feel about them being called Flesh Reaver Morsels. Just enemies dropping presumably a body part and being called a morsel. Yeah, I'd love to go explore it, but I'm under time crunch, so I kind of feel like I need to get to the end of the dungeon as quickly as I can here. Unfortunately. Otherwise, I'd love to go into that secret room and open all those chests. Okay, let's gather together. Let's walk around this group in the middle. Good heroes. This is a dead end, isn't it? Yeah, unfortunately, I kind of want to try to get this finished in the next short period of time. Dominator, you're the one responsible for this mess. And then you power block me, of course. Classic Dominator. Although I'd rather be the one power blocked than having Dunkoro be the one power blocked. No! No rest chance. But whatever. Probably something insignificant anyway. Okay, Beacon of Drakner. I have not satisfied the Beacon of Drakner. Well, they went down quickly. Probably got burnt to death by deep freeze. Yeah. Wait. Did the... Okay. I mean, I guess that works too. I just kind of assumed I need to... I have found it kind of interesting. Like, it's one of those things where in retrospect it makes sense, but I hadn't anticipated drawing a European audience with my time. It's one of those things where it's like, oh wait, no, that makes sense. And I don't know why I hadn't even considered it initially at the first place. Yeah. Greetings from the west coast of the United States. Our effectiveness against these groups seems to be incredibly inconsistent. Some groups seem to just evaporate, and then other groups just linger. I'm not entirely sure what makes for that difference. Hi, I see you're trying to smite Hex. I don't know if anybody here is from the East Coast. I've not really spent much time on the East Coast. Okay, did he drop a specific thing I need? Oh, right here. It's what? 5 p.m. on the East Coast, I think? I could see some of like East Coasters joining in on like the streams where I can go later on Tuesday and Saturday. But yeah, I don't know. It depends upon what people's work schedules are like and how all that stuff works out for them. I have a 10% morale boost. That's excellent. Ooh, pretty. Are these will-o-wisps? Pyre, I understand why you're back there. You were too busy applying expert focus. Thank you for catching up. And it looks like the door is over this way. Past those, Charr, I think. Yeah, there's the boss lock. I'm gonna go see how Rurgar is. Wait. General Morgan, where are you? Wait, what? I thought I saw Go for the Eyes from General Morgan, which I found very confusing. Or Go for the Eyes from Zenmai. She does not have Go for the Eyes. So I found it very confusing. That's the words that I was trying to say and did not say properly. Okay. Looks like our friend Rargar is over this way with Hide Splitter. I do not know what these guys do. Are there any... Allow me to introduce you to my most prized specimen. You should feel honored to have your bones picked clean by such a magnificent creature. Hide Splitter, show them no mercy. Vicious attack. Is Rargar... which one of these is more dangerous? I can probably keep empathy up on both of them. The sniper's spear. Okay, that sounds like it's probably deadly. You know what? Let's take Rargar down. I don't know why. Maybe he's a little bit more fragile. I have no idea. I just want to target him. Apparently, he's not interested in doing much once he's being targeted like this. Does he just have energy surge? Is that it? Because that's all I've been seeing him do, is just the occasional energy surge. Hey, he figured out how to wand. Ah, I guess he has Shatter Enchantment too. There we go. To hell with you and tell Shiro I said hi. That's some funny dialogue from Zenmai. Oh, interesting. Whatever. I just threw out a cry for frustration just to see if I'd catch something. I did not. Are there health values can never... Oh, so that you can't degen them out. There's chests. I got an air staff. Excitement. Yeah, that's interesting. Well, glad I wasn't trying to use Illusion of Pain. Whoa, that's some victory music. Going back to secret area. Is it over this way somewhere? Near the start. Can I go around? No, I probably have to go the long way. Yeah, we'll see how far I get to that. Probably not. It's fine. I have to be wrapping up here. Unfortunately. In normal mode? And what level are they? I mean, I don't know how much experience or how much HP they have either, but a lot of stuff I think probably uses the same sort of HP formula of like 480 HP at level 20. But I don't know if that continues on afterwards or how or anything like that. So this loop was pretty neat at first, but it's kind of gotten a little repetitive now. Does the wiki have any information, Kitsune? Oh yes, the perfect time to get Dwarven Raider rank 2. So is it like 100 HP plus 20 per level after level 1? So if it uses... I forget exactly what the formula is, but something like that. Because if it uses that, then level 27... Let's see. Oh, there's a ping over here. Let's see if I can get this in time. Oh yeah, 80 plus 20 times level. Well, I got this 190 gold, so there's that. Hooray! Cool. Do I have inventory space for those? No. Okay, well, I want to clear out enough inventory space to at least put those things away. Which I can do very quickly and easily by putting these materials away, so... Well, I'm going to need to wrap up here. Like I said, I have stuff I need to get ready for. So... Unfortunately, I need to call it here. I'll be back Saturday. Maybe I'll have cleaned out my inventory in between, but... Yeah, HM does weird stuff like that. Okay, well, thank you all very much for coming along, hanging out, for chatting, and all that stuff. And like I said, I'll be back, should be back Saturday. So thank you very much for watching, and have a good evening, everyone who's going to bed, and thank you for dropping by. Until next time, goodbye.